Live from the White House. We're going to dig into this a little bit now as Brandon Daniels joins us now. Brandon's the CEO of the company Exiger, which uses AI to try to solve challenges related to supply chains. And that's what we were talking about a moment ago, is all the challenges that are now posed in the city of Baltimore. What are the biggest ones in your eyes as they try to rebound?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and thank you for having me on, Connell. I mean, one of the things that I don't want to underestimate as we talk about a supply chain challenge is just the human toll here, right? I mean, we all watched that that footage of the bridge collapsing and all prayed for the people that were on that bridge and all watched the cars move across the bridge and just our hearts sunk, right? And so one of the things that this is no doubt going to call into question is just the safety of those waterways around the Baltimore port. And I think it's going to lead to more restrictions and potentially, as you start to look at some of the AIS data that we have related to this vessel, you're going to start to think about, okay, are you going to have manual navigation through these ports? Are you going to have to start to have restrictions on how these vessels are managed in these, heavily populated areas? I think that's going to be on the minds of the people of Baltimore. But then for the extended supply chain, there are going to be a bunch of questions that we're starting to answer with our customers.
Now, let me listen to a clip, if we have it, of the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, who was talking earlier today, as Kelly reports, the Secretary of Transportation also talking at the White House, Pete Buttigieg, about this. But here's Governor Moore putting some of the numbers into this about what we're really looking at. You think about how important Baltimore is. Here he is.
We're talking about over 51 million tons of foreign cargo goes to the port of Baltimore. That's the largest port in the entire country. We're talking about cars, heavy trucks, agricultural equipment. The port of Baltimore is the largest port in this country for all of those items. So this is not just impacting people in the state of Maryland. This is impacting the farmer in Kentucky. It's impacting the auto dealer in Michigan.
You always think of Baltimore as a port city, but I didn't think about it as that big of a city. I know we can flash up some of the rankings, whether it's imports, whether it's exports. To the governor's point, you see vehicles right at the top of the list there, $27 billion on the import side. So, Baltimore's a pretty big deal in this country, huh?
I mean, it is. There are over 14,500 companies that we can see on Tier 1. On Tier 1, that means just companies shipping between one another, right? Not the downstream impact. 14,500 companies who shipped into and out of the Port of Baltimore. There were several 100,000 containers that are being handled, and that's TEUs. Those are those big shipping containers that you see that will be impacted by this port being shut down for a period of time. We've talked a little bit about the types of goods that are flowing through this port, but big companies, big names that every single one of us would know, IKEA, Volvo, they're all currently shipping through these ports. So we can see this inside of our solutions and inside of our data.
Right.
And it really goes to everything from manufacturing to cars to home building. So this is going to have a reverberating effect.
Yeah, we'll see what it leads to your earlier point. And I was talking about this to you. Bigger and bigger ships, older and older bridges, and whether there's any kind of changes we could make using technology or AI or anything else in the future. Brandon, we thank you. We'll keep on this story and others with you. We appreciate you joining us. Brandon Daniels.